I finished the week 4 of The Artist Way, and this is my take on the whole week. This week was very special because the aim of this week was to eliminate the usage of social media, reading books, and to be honest, I was actually so surprised with how the week went because I was expecting that I'm gonna get like a super big withdrawal and I'm gonna feel slightly irritated because I read a lot of books, but I also kind of tend to be on my phone and watch some videos, and all of a sudden I did not. But surprisingly enough, I actually felt so well rested. Like my brain was getting such a good rest and I was just recharging my energy. I actually enjoyed it a lot, and now going into week 5, because I'm filming this in the week 5, I am actually still limiting my usage of social media. I'm reading a book, but limiting social media, and it just feels so nice. My brain is just like taking space to breathe a little bit. However, during the 4th week and also a little bit now during the 5th one, I read a comment somewhere that your phone is calling you stronger than the ring was calling Frodo, and it's so true. Like so many times in a day I have this like, oh, I want to open my phone, I want to check what's up, I just want to scroll for a little bit. When we tell ourselves that we're just gonna do it for like 5-10 minutes and then we're gonna put it away, but then you kind of hook and you don't want to stop, that kind of feeling. And the phone is just calling me. The reason why I think that I had such a success with staying off my phone is the fact that because of one of the exercises in week 4, I actually counted the amount of hours I would spend if every single day for the next 40 years I would spend 1.5 hours on my phone. And the crazy thing is, that would be 2.5 years in total in next 40 years. So I would basically just spend 2.5 years staring into my screen. I think it was something about like 22,000 hours, which is so insane because you know, like how maybe you've heard that in order to master a specific skill, you need to dedicate 10,000 hours doing that. So I could basically become master of 2 separate things, and all I have to do is just don't look on my phone. And by making it so numerical and thinking about it in a sense of in the next 40 years, I would spend 2.5 years just being on my phone, it scared me to the point when it just feels insane. Why would I give away my time to something that is not bringing in much benefit to myself? So I think that was like a big topic. I really enjoy the social media deprivation and I am definitely continuing. And I also mentioned it in maybe week 2, maybe even week 1, that this is something that I really want to focus on. And I must say that so far I've managed to lower and lower my consumption of social media, and I'm very happy about it, and I feel more relaxed. I wouldn't say that because of that I was creating more yet. However, I feel like my brain is taking the necessary recovery to be then able to create more. But I also have a lot of ideas just coming out of nowhere, which is amazing. There was something very nice I saw in the book and I want to read it for you. In order to have self-expression, we must first find self to express. And it's very interesting. We must find ourselves and connect with ourselves to be able to express ourselves in a proper way. However, if you constantly just put so much into your brain, you don't leave the space to just exist and to reconnect with yourself. Constantly occupying the brain with some kind of input and media and content and people and comparison. So that I found very interesting. And another thing was that once we experience shifts in life, that we feel the urge to get rid of old possession. Let's say to do decluttering. And I must say this so much vibes with me. I felt this urge so many times, and usually when I am closing off like a big life chapter, I just feel such big need to declutter and to get rid of things that I don't need anymore, that I don't want anymore. This applies so much to me, and I love decluttering. I think it's just clearing up the space for new things to arrive into your life, because it doesn't mean that it applies to just things, you know. For example, if you would be keeping a relationship that is just not good for you, you're automatically filling that space that you would have for, let's say, a healthy relationship by entertaining the relationship that is not serving you anymore. What was also very nice, in exercise 7 there was something about extended artist day, and the amazing thing was that I actually went to Amsterdam and I tasted quite a few things. I did some vintage shopping and it was so beautiful. I really enjoyed it. So that was my extended artist date. And out of the exercises, I completed 8 out of 10. All the exercises except for 4 and 6. This week, however, was a little bit weaker when it comes to morning pages. I did 5 out of 7. And when it comes to artist date, apart from going to Amsterdam and tasting a lot of different new things and doing the vintage shopping, I did also cloud watching. I just laid one day and I was just watching the clouds, and I was just, you know, when you kind of see animals or some kind of shapes. And I realized I actually haven't done that for so long. You know, when you're a kid and you're just staring into clouds and you just don't do nothing, you just exist. And I loved it. I so much enjoyed it, and it actually gave me such a good idea, because I thought that by the deprivation of social media, I am gonna feel bored. But I think that at this point, I am just resting very deeply. I want to get to the state of boredom. I want to bore myself by not doing anything, by just existing. I actually was just like staring into the clouds for like 2 hours, but I was just resting. I didn't feel bored, and I was not really thinking about much as well. It was very nice actually. I saw so many beautiful shapes and animals, but it didn't bore me. So that's maybe something that I would like to focus on and I would like to reach. However, I'm just gonna leave it a free flow. But this was week 4. It was very interesting, very surprising, and also there was a lot of realization when it comes to integrity and how I spend my time and how I want to spend my time. I'm definitely so proud of myself that I'm able to limit social media to the minimum. It just benefits me so much. I can already feel it, and I'm definitely gonna continue with that. So yeah, that was my week 4. How was your week? Tell me about it in the comments. I'm very curious. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, for staying, and see you in the next one. Bye!